Right, space detectives and alien archaeologists. I've got a part 2 for you coming up now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the things on Dragon Ridge, which is the ridge that I showed in my previous video, which is this one down here, called Mars Dragon Statue Guards Secret Entrance. Okay? Now, that was just over a week ago. This is it here. We've got an entrance, an actual structure, okay, with brickwork on it, clear brickwork, and then we have this dragon or lizard-like sculpture on the same ridge. Now, they're at either end of the ridge. The dragon is actually on the left of the ridge, and the entrance is on the right of the ridge, okay? I showed all this in the previous video, so you may want to watch that previous video first. Go back on my channel and click on that and watch that, but you can watch it after. Either way is good. We've got a roll clip in the bottom corner there, and this has been colorized. These images are black and white. They're taken by the cam or chemistry cam on the Curiosity rover. This is Sol 4152. Okay, so this video I did 9 days ago, and this is obviously a part 2. So take a good look at that. Now, this is on the slope to the left of Dragon Ridge. I estimate this to be somewhere between 3 and 6 feet tall, probably about 4 or 5. I don't know. About 5, I reckon. Now, this is the entrance. Now, this is on the right end of the ridge, okay? It's not the very end, but it's right near the end on the right of the ridge. Dragon Ridge. This is the entrance. We've got a flat platform on top. We have clear brickwork here, rectangular brickwork with an entrance going in. You would crawl in here and then take a left and go inside this ridge. Now, this, I think, like I said in the previous video, I think is part of a larger structure that's been destroyed, and this is the back end of it. But it may be the entrance to a labyrinth and set of caves and chambers inside this ridge. Let's go a little bit closer. There it is, right? Look at the brickwork. This is not a natural structure. This is 100% artificial. This has been built. It's not just some random rock part of the mountain. This is an intelligent structure, and this is an entrance. I estimate this to be about 3 foot, this entrance. It could be a little bigger. The overall height of this is around 10 or 15 feet from here, this platform on top, to down here at the bottom of the entrance, okay? Either way, it's still an entrance and it's still a structure. The size isn't that important. Now, there's loads of other things to see on this as well. I'm not going to show you all those now because I showed them all in the previous video. This is the entrance here from a distance of about a quarter of a mile away, all right? So we don't see any real detail, but what we do see is an overview of the whole ridge. So that's the right end of the ridge, and it comes up and over, and it goes along quite straight at the top, and then it comes down to here, which is where the dragon is. There's the dragon. This is a distant view of the dragon on the left slope of the ridge, guarding the ridge, okay? And looking to the left here. So there's the ridge there, right? Now, I did say in the previous video that there would be close-ups of some of these things on the ridge, and that's what I have for you today. So this is an update on Dragon Ridge, and now I'm going to show you some of these weird things up here, particularly in this spot here, between these two large rocks here. This one, here, which has this kind of pointed one next to it, and then this block here, and some of the things next to that. So we've got the sort of center left section coming up now, which is this part here, right? So we've got a pointed thing, and then a big thing here with a sort of crinkly edge, right? That's what we're looking at now. That's it. Now, this is a different angle, and but we're also zoomed right in with the cam, not the mass cam, which was what the last image was. This is cam, which has got good resolution and are high quality images, and it's zoomed right in, so we can see real detail. Now, that pointed rock, I think, is part of a statue. You've got 2 eyes and a snout here, and a sort of sloping point to it here. right? So I thought, yeah, another statue. And then I looked up here. There's what seems to be another statue here. Now, this has been colorized. I'll show you the raw one in a second. Let's go back a bit. So there's another, what seems to be an alien head here, or statue, right? There's the eye, and there's the sort of pointed chin there, okay? But not very clear, a bit out of focus, a bit fuzzy. And then I looked over to the left of that, and we have that other big block here, which corresponds to the one I showed you on the ridge a minute ago. This is absolutely insane. Now, it doesn't look much until you brighten this up. It just looks like a very strange rock with a very black part to it here, sloping slightly down here, right? But this ain't no normal rock. Now, I'm going to show you the raw one up the top here. Now, if you look carefully, you can actually see an eye here, a nose here, and a mouth here with pointed teeth at the front. But it's still not very clear, so you're going to brighten this up. This is a very dark image, right? The problem is, a lot of these rocks are very dark in colour. They're very dark blue or almost black. They're sort of a dark charcoaly blue blacky colour. They're really hard to actually see any detail, so you have to brighten them up. And when you brighten it up, this is what you get. Now, what I've done here, I've got the raw image here in the middle. It says raw there, right? And this is a clip of that, which I've enlarged and I've colorized and brightened considerably. I've brightened it right up and added a bit of contrast as well. And I've added like a color filter to it so we can see the detail. Let's get it center screen. Now look carefully. Concentrate on this detail here in this face. We have a depiction of a person. There's the eye, there's the nose, there's the mouth, and there's pointed front teeth, which look like fangs, okay? There's the raw image. Right, there's the eye, there's the nose, top lip there, mouth, and fangs. Big, long fangs at the front like a bat. Okay? Now let me show you the enhanced version, which has been brightened up quite a lot, and you should be able to see that. You can see the eye there. It's there. Got a narrow eye. We've got a normal human-looking nose. But we have here some very large, pointed front teeth. Okay? So this is what I can only describe as a statue of some kind of Martian vampiric person, or what I would call a lord or a king, or perhaps some kind of warrior or some kind of important person, right? Generally, people like you or I do not get statues built of us. It's generally only rich, famous, and powerful people that have statues made of them. And that's what I think this is. This is a lord or a king or a prince or something. But the crazy thing is, he looks like a vampire. He's got bat-like teeth. Let's have another look at those again. Look at these teeth here. Now, if you get too close, you can't see them very well. Let's go back a little bit. There we are. Look at these teeth here. That one comes right down, it seems. There's another pointed one here. So we've got a large canine there, but we have pointed bat-like teeth at the front as well. There's the nose with the nostril. There's the eye. You can see part of the ear here, right? I mean, all that detail is in there because this is the raw image. You can see all the same detail in the raw image, which hasn't been brightened or anything. This one here. This is as it comes. See, all those same details are just a little harder to see. I've called this one Lord Drac. what seems to be a dragon, and maybe the dragon's owner here. Now, I'm not saying these are fossils. I'm pretty sure these are actually carved sculptures. But was this the Dragon Lord? The Lord of the serpents and dragons in this particular area? I mean, this is insane. I mean, this is like something out of Game of Thrones or some crazy TV show or film, you know. And when I found this last night, I was quite shocked. I thought, Jesus Christ, this looks like an apex predator kind of guy, possibly a blood-sucking vampire. I mean, they're not supposed to exist, but nor a dragon is supposed to exist. I have had a few comments saying it can't be a dragon. Dragons don't exist. They do in art, and they do in all cultures, going right back many thousands of years in the Far East as well as in Europe and all over. There are legends of dragons, flying serpents, and all sorts of legends that go right back. And as I've said before, I think a lot of them actually hark back to a time when a few dinosaurs were still around when we came along. Now, I'm not saying that all the dinosaurs survived, on Earth that is, but some of them do appear in art on cave drawings and cave paintings, and in some of the ancient art from various civilizations around the world, okay? So I think that maybe that some of them survived, and that's why they show up in art. So it is possible that the dragon mythology comes from that, but what if it actually comes from Mars? What if some of the Martians survived the cataclysm, came to Earth, and brought their myths and legends with them of dragons and vampires and crazy giants and things like that? I've shown examples of all these things. This isn't the first one of these I've shown. I'll put a clip or two in at the end of the video with some of the other similar things I found with these pointed, crazy, big teeth, because I found other statues with these great big teeth at the front, which are pretty scary. Now that says to me there weren't just human type people on Mars. There were the small ones, which I call the dwarven types, who are like little kind of 1 or 2 feet tall people. Right? Then you have the humanoid looking ones, which look very much like us. Then you have some like this, which are pretty scary looking with pointed teeth. And there are some that look like actual lizards, like lizard people, or I call them lizard men, but they're kind of reptoids, right? Now, I've shown these in both craters by both rovers, so they do it or did exist. It's not just 1 or 2 examples. I've got dozens of examples from both Gale Crater, where we are now, but also Jezero Crater, where the newer rover is, the 2020 rover. I've shown lots of similar things there. And there are humanoids, there are crazy big fossilized skulls with great big teeth. Some of them have fish like teeth, some of them have pointed teeth like this. But some of them look human, but some of them look really, really large. Some of them are giant. 4 or 5 times the size of a human skull, but there are also many smaller ones as well. So there's a whole mixed bag of stuff going on Mars. Now, this is yet more evidence of it. Now, this may not actually be a fossil. I don't think it is. I think this thing is a carving. But there are lots of monuments along this ridge at the back, and it's in an area what I call the Royal Mile, okay? Because there are dozens of statues, dozens and dozens of statues, and big monumental artwork in this area. Some of them are 100 feet tall, some of them 150 feet tall. There's one that I've called the Mars Emperor. There's one I called the King of Mars, which is a smaller one. There's another one that I called Ares with horns. There's a whole bunch of them, and some of them are huge. And this is the same area, okay? This is right in the middle of that area, what I call the Royal Mile, which is probably more like 2 or 3 miles long. But there we are, Lord Drac on Dragon Ridge, where we have the secret entrance and lots of other strange objects. And we will see more of these objects in the coming days and weeks. And I will bring them to you and show you the close ups. Because if we've got things that look like vampires up here, we've got things that look like dragons and things like that, there's going to be some more crazy stuff. Follow links below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Clips coming up now.